Hey, what's up, everybody? Fred Minnick here, and I'm traveling, but I know a lot of people are wanting to know my thoughts on the William Larue Weller and the other Buffalo Trace Antique Collection products that I haven't reviewed yet. So I brought them with me, and I'm in Alabama. I'm in Birmingham, Alabama, going to go to the Alabama game. And if you happen to be in Birmingham, come meet me at the Dread River Distillery tomorrow, October 20th at 5 p.m. We're going to do a little little bottle share. It's going to be some fun. But I even brought the press release. Because, I never want to get any information wrong that they provide. So I'll do my best to read it straight from the press release. Okay, so this year's Weller, another wheated recipe, you know that. This year, it was distilled in the spring of 2011. So that's, once again, it's a 12-year-old from warehouses CLM and N. CLM and N. I feel like that's a rap song in some way. If you're a rapper, go ahead and throw a rhyme in the comments. I'd love to see that. Okay, so this one is 133.6 proof. So that's packing some heat. The SRP on this, well, it doesn't matter because it rarely sells for SRP. But I just like to say, if you can find a front or $200, snag it. If it's over that, well, it's your money, but I do not recommend it. Now, I typically do not have. I typically do my tastings with a Glencairn. Today, this is not a Glencairn. This is a champagne model, or a champagne flute, or glass. God, I can't even talk. But the place we're at doesn't have any Glencairns. And I normally do travel with my Glencairns when I know I'm tasting, but I booked a jiu-jitsu class, and I think I was more excited about going to my jiu-jitsu class tomorrow than I was packing my Glencairns. But I was excited about bringing these. So here we go. That being said, there's worse glasses that you could get that are not Glencairns. Like there's the red Solo cup. I could have used that. There was a wooden chalice. I could have used that, but I figured this was close enough here, so I can get the nice swirl, push that bouquet up there, and my nose is going to be close enough that I don't think it's going to alter the aroma complexities too much. I got to tell you, this is really coming off really sweet. We're talking chocolate, talking pecans, chocolate pecan pie. Cinnamon. And there's something else in here. Maybe like a cedar. And this is not something I would ever suspect in a wheated bourbon, but it's like this hint of cedar. You know those nice cedar closets you walk into? It smells like that. Swirl that around one time. Well, last year's William Larue Weller won my #1 bourbon in my top 100 tasting. But George T. Stagg, when I did a head-to-head in last year's BTAC tasting, George T. Stagg beat Weller. And tasting the Weller after 100 pours, that was last year's winner. And so people have asked me a lot, like, how could you have flip-flop there? I'm like, that's a blind tasting. You never know what's going to happen. But George T. Stagg did finish third in that tasting of 100 products when Weller finished first. So you cannot say that they finished poorly. All right. I got to talking about last year. I completely forgot about this one. So I guess that's your indication from me right away. Like last year's was better. I mean, yeah, this note of cedar on the nose, it carries through on the palate as well. It's quite a bit astringent. It's astringent. This is not it. It's 133 proof, and it tastes like it. I'm a fan of cast strength products. I obviously have been putting cast strength products in my top 100 for some time, and if you take a look at the list of the ones that do well, there's a lot of cast strength products in there. But sometimes people put cast strength out just because they think that's what people want. But I think the best whiskey should come out at cast strength. You shouldn't hide flaws in that. And I'm not saying there's flaws in this. I'm just saying this is not as good as last year's William Larue Weller. That said, it's still very good. There's this crazy hint of like cedar or some type of like pine needle in here that's really throwing me off. And I'm gonna grab a different glass. I checked the glass beforehand, but just in case it's a glass, I want to make sure because this is different to me. It's a glass that I'm not accustomed to, so I'm just gonna make sure that it's not some kind of weird residue within the glass that a rag couldn't detect earlier. But so hold on. All right, so yeah, I'm using a different glass now. I'm gonna go to this glass. This is a basic wine glass. These glasses became popular with Spanish wine, and the Spaniards love serving Rioja in this type of glass. I happen to be a big fan of it. So there's a little bit more there. There is not as much. There's much more surface area between where the whiskey is and the nose. I'm not the biggest fan of that. But this kind of glass, the way it's curved, it doesn't. You can still get the aromas if you get in there. So I'm going to go through the process all over again, just in case I'm giving a bad review because the glass is not, just in case this glass, which is meant for champagne, isn't doing it for me. Once again, if you're just joining me, it is because I forgot my Glencairns and I'm traveling. Okay, that cedar note is still there. There's still chocolate and pecan notes in here, but my nose was not betrayed by the glass. There's definitely some cedar in here. That's not good or bad, it's just what I smell. I mean, I personally don't like to eat cedar trees, but, to each his own. You never know. Could be your thing. Yeah, definitely wasn't the glass. Exact same tasting approach, very astringent, over alcohol-y for me. And after that, I get some like salted butter, a little bit of nutmeg, but this is feeling like an enormous miss for me. And coming off of last year where William Larue Weller was really, I need to revise my best my best bourbons of the century so far and put William Larue Weller on there. And possibly what came in second and third last year because I was so enamored with them. But yeah, I'm not feeling this. And anytime I feel astringency and over alcohol, that's like the death knell to me. Will it still be in my top 100? Is it better than? I'll tell you right now, this is not better than K-Luke Batch 6 that I tasted the other day. It's not better than a recent barrel release that I just tasted. In fact, this is pretty pedestrian. But it doesn't matter what I say. People are going to go batshit crazy for this bottle. Someone's going to name it Whiskey of the Year. And everybody's going to, tater up for it and, say whatever. But I'm just telling you, for my palate, this year's William Larue Weller is a huge miss. Huge miss. But taste for yourself. Don't just listen to me. follow your own opinions. But I appreciate you tuning in. If you're not already, click the subscribe button, become a subscriber. Tell a friend. Go check out my club Marzipan. We just got back from Key West with a pretty cool adventure out there. So we do a lot of fun stuff there in Club Marzipan. That's going to do it, y'all. Be safe out there. Remember, vodka sucks unless it's being used to clean up the murder scene of a dead cat.